20 million viewers in just 7 months.
Yep.
It's just like staggering to me. How does a content creator nurture and grow a significant audience on YouTube?
I think the most important part, nurturing an audience is one, just knowing who your audience is, right? Getting to know what are the things that they want, right? What are the things they want to see, and then giving them the things that they need. They need to see, whether it's educational or entertainment. There's so many different ways in that sense. But if we're talking about nurturing, you can think about the same as like a baby, right? Like you need to get to know them, understand what their needs are in that sense, and then you'll be able to start anticipating what are the things you can do, what are the things you could put forward for them that they're going to be interested in and they're going to want to see.
So how do you start out in that path? Because when we started 0 subscribers, or even if whatever small number of videos, we know it takes time for YouTube to even understand we're there in the early going. So can you sort of talk a bit about that? How do you get that ball rolling?
Well, you have to make some assumptions at first, right? You have to start to think, who's my audience? Where are they? What are they already watching? And what piques their interest. You might not totally know, but if you are picking an audience, if you just pick yourself, is there other people out there watching stuff like you? You got to think, what's the audience I'm looking for? What are they already watching? And getting out there and figuring out what that is a good spot to start. I would even say start there, even before you start making videos, is figuring out what are they already watching? What are they looking at? Maybe you ask some questions of people that you might know that are your target audience and start to get to know them better. If you are in your target audience, start to think, what are some of those videos that would be interesting for them? And you make some assumptions. So when you go and put those out, see, did they respond to this? How are they responding to this? Is it getting traction? What can I change about that? And keep making those assumptions until you start really seeing what takes off, what traction you're starting to see there. But you have to kind of think, what's their mind at? Where are they at? What's interesting for them right now that'll get them to click on watch this video? And that is really the important part. You have to kind of just assume. You have to kind of think, what is something that might interest them right now?
What do you think about how important is experimenting in the early going of your channel with your content?
I think it's important to try different things, but if you can identify what's something you already know that they're gonna watch, how can you create a certain number of videos that can kind of flow into each other, that can get connected, that serve a purpose together, right? Because if you make one video and then your next video has nothing to do with that and it's completely different, do the two videos serve each other? But if you can make one video that has then a natural second video that someone else can go to, you might want to make one video. I wouldn't necessarily say make a part 1, part 2, because that doesn't necessarily work, right? Because if someone gets surface part 2 first, are they going to watch that because it's part 2, it's not part 1, I'll go find part 1 and then never find it, right? But if there were 2 videos that can actually naturally flow into each other, so let's say yours is about Camtasia, right? You might have Camtasia for beginners, but then maybe there's like 5 Camtasia mistakes. The same person might be interested in both of those videos, no matter which one they get to first. And they are kind of natural flows into each other. So when you kind of plan out your videos, you could plan ahead. These are the next 5 videos I'm going to make, and here's how they tie together. Because at the end of each video, you could tie to that video. So at the end of Camtasia for beginners, you might end with. And if you want to learn about the mistakes that other people have made or common mistakes, watch this video next. And at the end of the mistakes video, say, if you're a beginner, go and watch this Camtasia for beginners. Now you're more likely to get someone who watches both of those videos, which is way better for YouTube